Malachi, how important was it for you guys on offense to just kind of get off to a good start and kind of just keep rolling, scored on first, I think, 2 drives, and never trailed in the game?
I think it was very important to go out there and get a good start. It's always important every week to jump on our opponent. That's always our goal.
For you, again, doing a little bit of everything, playing a little bit more in the back today, or at least starting in the back, what would you say about the way Shane Dawson's trying to diversify the way you're on the field to try to make sure you're able to get involved with teams game planning against you now?
I love the way he disguises or get me the ball from different ways. It's just, I really don't know how to answer that question.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. Just the fact that, again, you know that teams are game planning against you, and the fact that you're still able to get involved the way you are, just what does it say both about you specifically, and the way that you guys are scheming things up?
I love the way Coach Dawson schemed things up, give me different opportunities to catch the ball, hand the ball, sometimes maybe even pass the ball. I just give me an opportunity. I really don't know.
Yeah, but all right. And then with the passing, since you mentioned it, the touchdown, the back, the deep throw to JoJo, and then the sidearm throw that you had today. How would you rank them in terms of which you were most impressed with?
My touchdown throw always go first. Probably JoJo. No, Keelan. The one from today second, and JoJo third.
I went, what? I said, what? I talked in the press box. That was an impressive throw. Coach Dawson kind of said on Monday that, kind of had to get the basic stuff kind of down first before he wanted to put more on your plate. How do you feel like maybe in the last month or so, when you've been able to do more stuff, how much do you feel like you kind of earned the ability to have a chance to do that?
I think I earned it well, and I'm doing great things with it. Not just going out there and taking advantage of it, but obviously going out there and do what they want me to do and doing what they need me to do.
After doing everything you did today, to be able to get a touchdown to cap it off, to add to it, just how good did that feel to get the touchdown that all but sealed it at the end?
It all was great, whether I would have scored at the end or would I not. Just to be able to go out here and play with my brothers, or people that I call my brothers, is always amazing, and it's a blessing.
What kind of statement do you think you guys have made the last 3 weeks with the way that you guys have won your games, heading into with a big game left against Pitt?
That we just willing to. We taking everything week by week, not focused on anything ahead of us or behind us. We just taking everything week by week.
Justin, just how you evaluate again? They got a few run plays and whatnot, but the bend to it, don't break mentality of this defense. Just how do you feel like that showed tonight?
Yeah, that's a good team. That's a good running team. We knew they wanted to run the ball. We had a few misfits. They hit a few plays, but it's always about the next play mentality. Come back. You gotta have a short mindset, short-term memory when you playing football, just in general. So yeah.
And then personally, what has this last month been like? Obviously, David's missed a couple games, Ahmad missed a couple games. For you to take advantage of the reps and the extra opportunity you've had, how would you evaluate these last 4?
One thing I definitely want to give props to the offensive line. Just battling with them every day, and I'll just say a few guys went down. My team needed me to step up, and I'm just doing what's best for the team.
And then, like you said, they did break off a few good runs today. What were they doing that maybe made things tough for you on that side?
I'll say it wasn't really nothing too complicated. It was more just on our end, just not doing our job, not being disciplined. But I feel like we kind of had a great idea what they were going to do this game, and we kind of just prepared good for it.
And then Kyron Jones, their quarterback, obviously, he's very fast. He can get out of break tackles and stuff. Mm-hmm. When that happens to you guys on the defensive line, whether it's you or Ruben or Keem or whoever, does that motivate you guys more? Like, what do you guys do when that happens?
Yeah, I say, like I said, short-term memory, and also it do strike a hunger in you just to make sure you get that next one. So kind of just going back to the next play, forgetting about that play. It hurts, but you got to move on. Yeah.
They get the touchdown, then they get the onside kick, and then they start driving again. Mm-hmm. When Zechariah recovers that fumble, just sigh of relief. Just what's the feeling? What's the mood like after Zechariah gets that?
Yeah, it's great mood. Going out after that sequence of events. Defense, we knew it was on us. It was going to be on us. To close the game out. And it was just our mindset. That they wasn't going to score. That we were going to close this game out. We were going to come out with the win. So definitely a sign of relief. Fumble. With a big fumble, I feel like it's always just a relief.
Thank you guys.
Zechariah, obviously, first just Jacoby goes out kind of early in the game. need kind of guys to step up. How do you feel like you guys stepped up with him out?
I'm very proud of my guys, Dylan Day, all those guys. You know, they stepped up. You know, it's next man mentality. You know, unfortunately, Kobe's one of the best players in the country, so losing him, of course, it hurts. But those guys came in and they handled up.
They get within 10, they get the onside kick, they look like they're about to drive again. Just to be able to get the fumble recovery and essentially seal it, just how much of a maybe sigh of relief was that when Virginia Tech was trying to make it interesting there late?
I think that's a testament to our culture. You know, we bend, but we don't break. You know, so we just stayed calm, kept our composure, and we handled up.
Were you sure it was going to stay a fumble after some reviews and stuff earlier in the game?
I mean, I was kind of nervous about it, but I kind of knew what it was. You know, shout out to Bane and Mez for getting that done.
And then on the run defense side of things, they were able to kind of gash you guys a few times. What did you see on some of those plays? What were they doing that was working?
That's a good team when it comes to the run game. They did a lot of stuff that kind of like confused our gaps a little bit, but you know, we had to go back to the drawing board. You know, we figured it out and we handled up.
Like Adam was mentioning, just a lot of reviews, a lot of waiting around, a lot of just having to figure things out. Just how do you guys handle that in the moment? What are you doing to try to stay composed when there is a lot of uncertainty out there?
Like I said, shout out to the coach, man. Shout out to our coaches, man. They always keep us calm and keep us collected. And, you know, we got to control what we can at the end of the day. You know, it's all about us. You know, we can't control the calls or the officials. So we just control what we can and do us.
And you mentioned a lot of guys stepping up with Jacoby going out. Bryce Fitzgerald specifically started nickel, then ends up playing safety. Just his versatility. What have you seen from him as his role sort of evolved this season?
Yeah, that's my little brother, man. He's truly one of the best players in the country. He's a very versatile dude, like you said. You know, for a young guy, that's pretty impressive. You know, that you can put him anywhere at nickel, safety. You know, so that's very impressive.
And just how have you guys handled just obviously since the SMU game, you've sort of been backed into all guys having to knowing what you have to do to win out. Just how you've seen the team over these last 3 weeks handling business, knowing that, again, not looking ahead to being able to figure out how to do what you have to do on a week-to-week basis going into this final week.
I mean, it starts at practice, you know. You know, we all had a meeting every time versus Louisville we had a meeting, versus SMU we had a meeting. And, you know, we got back to the drawing board. It's all about us. We got to control what we can. We can't look ahead. We got to dominate the day. It starts with practice. You know, we've been dominating practice for the last 3 weeks. So, I mean, practice has been great, and it shows up in the game.
How thankful are you that you don't have to go against Malachi Toney?
I mean, I had to go get some in practice every day, you know. So, no, that's all I can say when it comes to him. That's all I can say when it comes to Mally, man. Best player in the country for sure.
Think he's a better quarterback or a receiver? That's an acceptable answer.
Yeah, fact.